Butts on to get ready for the ride. Listen, there are going to be some challenges, but with challenges becomes opportunity, gets opportunity. But here's what I do know. We're the freaking New York Jets. We're built for this.
Good evening and welcome to another installment of the New York Minute Sports Show. We got the New York Jets 2025 season breakdown. Will Aaron Glenn lead the Jets into the promised land, or will the beatings continue until morale improves? We've got highlights. We got the full breakdown right here. New York Minute Sports. It's New York sports for New York nuts. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's go!
It's New York Minute Sports. It's New York Sports Talk for sports nuts.
Well, guys, it's one of the most wonderful times of the year. It's NFL season, folks, and the New York Jets are back with a new regime. The Aaron Glenn and Muji regime. New general manager, new head coach, new direction for the New York Jets. We just got done with two terrible, tumultuous seasons. It was a dumpster fire like usual. But now we get Aaron Glenn, who is a Bill Parcells disciple.
Okay, now I'm going to quote, and I'm not trying to be cute here, okay? I'm just going to say, they want you to cook the dinner. At least they ought to let you shop for some of the groceries.
Aaron Glenn played for Bill Parcells. He worked under Bill Parcells, and he's worked under some great coaching trees. Aaron Glenn has the resume to be a successful head coach in the NFL. But my question is, are the New York Jets cursed as a franchise, and does it matter who they bring into this franchise? This is the opposite of the last regime, and that's the first thing that I absolutely love about the new guys in-house with the New York Jets. Aaron Glenn is going to be following the Detroit Lions blueprint to make this team into a successful squad. You saw it 4 or 5 years ago. The Detroit Lions hired Gable and Aaron Glenn and his coaching staff, and they were going to bite kneecaps off, and they were going to be tougher than the guy in front of them, and that's what Aaron Glenn instills in a team, and I'm excited about that. Now let's get what I'm not excited about. The New York Jets are going into this season with a first-time head coach, a first-time general manager, and a first-time offensive coordinator. Now, I don't know about you, but when you have guys doing it for the first time all over the place, it just reminds me of the Adam Gase regime, and it reminds me of the Robert Saleh regime. The New York Jets, instead of going with a steady thing that they know can win with a proven coach, they like to go for the new guy. They like to go for the new kid on the block. And my question to you is, let me know in the comments below, is Aaron Glenn that new kid on the block, or will he be another victim to the black hole that is Woody Johnson and the New York Jets? So we have an unproven head coach, an unproven general manager, an unproven offensive coordinator. We have a quarterbacks coach that is only doing it for the first time. We are running an offense from 1992, guys. We are going to be running a run-first offense, and we have a quarterback in Justin Fields that can hardly throw a 7-yard out. So the New York Jets are going to be turning back the clock to 1992, and they're going to be running the ball. And that spells absolute and utter disaster for me as a New York Jet fan. That screams to me 17 points a game and good defense. But what has happened to the Jets in the last 8 years is that they have absolutely no offensive production. They have a decent, above decent defense that plays on the field too much, and by the 13th game of the season, they're dejected, they've checked out, and they're making reservations for vacation and tea times in the offseason. Now, my question to you is, Justin Fields, Is he the next Geno Smith? Or is Justin Fields the next Joey Bag of Donuts? Justin Fields cannot throw a 7-yard out. He cannot throw a ball with accuracy. Pittsburgh Steelers, who were desperate for a quarterback last year, benched him for Russell Wilson. The Steelers, who were desperate for a quarterback in the offseason and took the Jets quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, let Justin Fields walk. So what does that say about the quarterback that we have being the field general of our team? Justin Fields has had 5 offenses in 5 years, and our general manager says that Justin Fields can be the next Geno Smith or be the next Sam Darnold. But my question to you is, who's going to develop this quarterback? The New York Jets, as a franchise, have never developed a quarterback. And now, out of the clear blue sky, you're going to develop Justin Fields after 5 years in the league? Geno Smith and Sam Darnold developed after they left your franchise, after they left the New York Jets. Those 2 quarterbacks got good in spite of the New York Jets franchise. So when he wants Justin Fields to turn into 2 quarterbacks that left the Jets, maybe that's the problem. The reason they succeeded is they left the Jets. And as a general manager, you did nothing for quarterback development on this coaching staff because I don't like the quarterback's coach. He was the assistant quarterback's coach last year for the Seattle Seahawks, and that's it. The only coach that we have with any kind of experience is our defensive coordinator. And that does not bode well for a young team all over the place that needs to learn how to win on the fly when you have no coaching staff that has won anything. The positives about Justin Fields. Automatically, the Jets are the most athletic they've been at the position in years. Since Michael Vick was the quarterback of this team and he came back from prison and he still had a lot of ring rust and still was rusty, Justin Fields will be the most athletic, explosive quarterback with his legs that we've ever had on the team. He's going to run for 660 yards, and he's playing with Buckeyes like Garrett Wilson and Jeremy Ruckert. So those are 2 guys that he has experience with, and maybe he can turn back the clock to when he won a national championship with the Buckeyes. Now, if Justin Fields runs an RPO, and they do establish the run this year with Hall and Allen, then you're talking about a dangerous offense, something that can emulate what the Commanders did last year with Jaden Daniels, and the Jets can be a dynamic offense. But to be honest with you guys, I'm a Jet fan, and I always go negativity before positivity until proven otherwise, guys. I am not going to believe that this offense is going to be even in the top 15 this year. Then also, what makes absolute no sense to me is you get a liability in Justin Fields at quarterback who might get benched after the 6th week, and you bring in a backup quarterback in Tyrod Taylor, who perpetually gets hurt whenever he's in the game as your backup quarterback. You can't have a backup quarterback that is an injury liability. Tyrod Taylor is not healthy enough to be the backup quarterback right now. He is on the injured list, and the season hasn't even started. And I'm tired of hearing how he can get in, he can move the ball. Yeah, that's great. How about a guy like Kirk Cousins? Go out and spend the money. I don't care. You can get a veteran to be the backup for this team. I mean, Joe Flacco was on this staff. In fact, Joe Flacco should have maybe been the quarterback of this team for the last 4 years. They would have had more steady wins as a franchise. So your backup quarterback is weak, and now it's Cook because they let Martinez walk for some reason, who was playing well, and now Cook is their backup quarterback, and this guy should not even be a professional quarterback. Now let's get to the big 3-headed monster of the New York Jets. And this is a crucial, critical year for the New York Jets. And I'm talking about Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, and Breece Hall. Let's go with Sauce Gardner first. Sauce Gardner is the only guy that I've ever broken my rule for. I bought Sauce Gardner's jersey. I never buy a jersey of a guy younger than me, but Sauce Gardner, when he made the All-Pro defensive team first string, the first guy to do it since 1988, Ronnie Lott, I knew Sauce Gardner was the truth, and I knew he was a steal in the draft. So I went out and I got his jersey. Last year, he had a down year, but it's so funny you say that. He had a down year for Sauce Gardner. He was still the third best cornerback in the league who was not allowed to play man-on-man. He was always playing zone in Robert Saleh's defense, and they never played man-to-man. I think Sauce Gardner will do a lot better this year with schemes, locking him on the best wide receiver of the other team. Set it and forget it. He needs a bounce-back year, and I'm going to put air quotes on that bounce-back year because he's really not bouncing back. Sauce Gardner is an elite quarterback, and they kind of trade off in the top four who's going to be the best cornerback of the year. Guys have up and down years, but I think what Sauce Gardner needs to start incorporating into his game to bring him to the next level is he needs to get more physical. They need to bring Sauce Gardner, now that they signed him to an extension and they have him for a long period of time until 2030, along with Garrett Wilson. They need to start getting more muscle on this guy. He's not going to be a tackler. Neither was Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders couldn't even tackle a guy, and he's in the Hall of Fame and got a gold jacket. So he doesn't need to be a 100 tackles guy right off the bat. All he needs to do is make about 35 tackles a year. Add a little weight, wrap up, and Sauce Gardner can be even that more dangerous in the cornerback position. So I'm thinking a big year for Sauce Gardner. And now, not to mention, this is one of the things that Aaron Glenn brings to the New York Jets. He was a cornerback, and he was a very good one. 40 career interceptions for Aaron Glenn. So the man knows what he's doing. So if you have these two guys get together like Sauce Gardner and Aaron Glenn, I am very excited to see what they produce out of Sauce Gardner this year. Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson is the only New York Jet that I've ever felt bad for. Garrett Wilson is a loyal dude to this team for no reason. They have given him no reason to be loyal to us, and he has been. So I am carrying the flag for Garrett Wilson because this guy is such a stud. He's going to get 1,200 yards, and he can have Ronald McDonald as his quarterback, and he's still going to get his 10 touchdowns. He's still going to get his 1,200 yards. He's still going to get his 95 targets because Garrett Wilson is just that good. But the Jets have no other wide receivers after that, and that's a big problem. So Garrett Wilson doesn't have a serious number two. And I know that the Jets are building towards something. They're building towards a future, but this is malfeasance on Muji's part as the general manager, as Lazard being your number two who's perpetually hurt and drops the ball all the time. So the Jets have no wide receiver core. They have a quarterback that can't throw it more than 7 yards, and he's a glorified running back. So I am struggling to see where the offensive production and the points are going to come from. I'm in baseball mode. I just said runs. Where all the points are going to come from the Jets, and they're running a 1992 offense. So now the most talked about, the lightning rod of the New York Jets, Breece Hall. This is a put up or shut up year. Kind of reminds me of Anthony Volpe on the New York Yankees. Your third year, we've been hearing how you got all the talent in the world and how you could be the next Marshall Faulk or you could be the next big thing. And all I keep seeing from you is lack of performance, getting hurt, and not running north or south. Too much juking left to right, trying to get cute. I want to see him get 80 catches out of the backfield this year. With Allen coming in, they have a three-headed monster at their running back position. So I want to see Breece Hall used catching out of the backfield or in a slot wide receiver position in a 4 wide because they don't have any wide receivers. Now, Breece Hall's been talked about by possibly getting moved before the season starting. I'm filming this on Thursday before the game starts tonight as the NFL season goes down tonight. So I don't see it happening, but there's been talks about Breece Hall going to the Cowboys for Turpin, their slot wide receiver who is speed personified. He's also controlled contractually, and the Dallas Cowboys apparently are obsessed with running the ball this year, and Jerry Jones wants Breece Hall. So apparently what Breece Hall would get in a deal would be a 3rd-round pick and Turpin from the Cowboys. What about you guys? Would you make that move right now? Let me know in the comments below. I want to kick the tires on Breece Hall, at least for 6 weeks. Until the trade deadline. If he's having a great season and the Jets are 0-4, Trade him off, get some draft capital for him because you're not going to extend him at the end of next year, and you have Allen, and running backs are the most replaceable thing in the NFL. So I say let Breece Hall cook for the first 6 weeks. If it's the same old bullshit with him and he's not that guy, trade him. If he's doing really well, trade him after 6 weeks because we can make up for it. He's not going to get a lot of touches in the backfield. There's only one football. And if Justin Fields runs for 650 yards, which I think he's going to, and then you have Breece Hall and Allen, and, you have too many guys getting the ball. So Breece Hall's rushing yards are going to go down by default this year. So is he a stud or a dud? That's my question to you. Breece Hall, stud or dud? And let me know, who do you think is going to have the best year out of that triad? Because, guys, now let's talk about strengths and weaknesses for the New York Jets. Let's go with their strengths. Strengths of defense, run game, and I put defense twice. Okay? Defense, run game, defense. Those are their strengths. Now let me tell you your weaknesses. Backup quarterback, wide receiver core, starting quarterback coach, special teams. So I keep saying the Yankees. So the Jets have a lot of weaknesses, and now let's get down to how many wins and losses the New York Jets are going to have this year. Now, side note, as a joke, not really, the last 7 years I have put $100 every year on the Jets to have exactly 7 wins because that is the definition of mediocrity. So what I do is put $100 down. I've won 3 times. So I'm pretty accurate in my depiction of what's going to go down in the regular season, and I'm going to break it down for you right now. So I've got my predictions for the NFL season for the Jets. Win-loss, here we go. Steelers, loss. Bills, loss. Bucks, loss. Dolphins, win. The Jets open up the season 1-3. Remember what I was telling you about Breece Hall getting traded in the 6th week? It's probably going to happen. Cowboys, win. Broncos, loss. Panthers, win. Bengals, loss. Browns, win. Patriots, loss. Ravens, loss. Falcons, loss. Dolphins, loss. Jaguars, loss. Saints, win. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to get into a 5-game losing streak at one point this season, guys. Patriots, loss. Bills, loss. My prediction for this year is the New York Jets go 5-12. Put it down right now. Put $50 on it. Uncle Eric from New York Minutes telling you the New York Jets are going 5-12 this year. Now let's put a little bit more money in your pocket. Let's do some over and unders for players props on the Jets. Garrett Wilson receiving yards, 950 yards, minus 114. Slam $100 on that and take the over. Garrett Wilson is definitely having 1,000 yards receiving this year. Like I said before, I don't care if Ronald McDonald's throwing the ball behind center. Breece Hall, 825 yards rushing at minus 114. Put a C note on it. Take the under. Like I said, Justin Fields is going to be taking reps away from Breece Hall behind the backfield. He's a 3-headed monster behind the backfield. Breece Hall is going to be brought out as a slot wide receiver. He's going to be getting a lot of screens, a lot of motion passes in the RPO. So that is going to bring his numbers down. So take the under on Breece Hall. Also, if Breece Hall gets moved and he gets traded in the middle of the season, he might miss a game. He might miss a game by having to learn the offense. He might take 3 games to get used to the offense that he's at. So there's a lot of variables with Breece Hall, but take the under with his 825 yards rushing. Fields, pass yards on the year, 2,600 yards. Now, Jet fans, this is what I'm talking about, that 92 offense. We are running an inundated offense when the quarterback-driven league, when you need a quarterback to throw for about 4,200 yards for them to actually go to the Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson stopped running the ball years ago, and Vegas thinks that Fields is going to throw for 2,600 yards, it's going to be worse than that. Take the under at -114, put a C note on it, take the under on Justin Fields' pass yards for the year. Now, last one, you can put some money in your pocket. Fields' rush yards for the year, 650. Take a C note out, put it down, take the over. Justin Fields is going to have more than 650 yards rushing this year, and I believe that the Jets will lead the NFL in rushing this year. So finally, and in closing, to the Jets preview, storylines for 2025. Will Glenn and Muji change the culture for the New York Jets? I even heard Aaron Glenn was having Bible study, mandatory Bible study for this franchise. How do you guys feel about that in the comments section? Because maybe that will bring in some high-quality caliber guys, high-character guys. If you remember to that team up north that beat our brains in for 20 years, the Bill Belichick-led Patriots, all I heard about them all the time was building and bringing in high-caliber, high-quality guys. And that's what Aaron Glenn wants to do. Will Justin Fields break out? Will our general manager be correct? Will he be the next Justin Fields? Will Justin Fields be the next Sam Darnold and Geno Smith? Or will Justin Fields be the next Joey Bag of Donuts? The last question. Will Breece Hall finish this season with the New York Jets? Let me know how you feel in the comments below. Let me know how you feel about anything or anything I missed in the preview, guys, tonight. And also, I am going to be having post-game shows for every single Jets game this season. I'm going to be breaking down the NFL wall-to-wall. I'm going to be breaking down first-take videos. For all my Yankee Jet fans who watch my Yankee show all the time, welcome. If you're seeing me for the first time, welcome to New York Minute Sports. If you're a crazy New Yorker who likes the Giants or Jets or football in general, we got you covered right here. New York Minute Sports. It's New York sports for New York nuts. So let's wish the Jets a bunch of good luck this year because they're going to need it. What I want to see from the New York Jets is progress. I want to see them moving in the right direction with quality wins and staying in games this year. And if the Jets do that, I will be happy because we are building towards something. And God knows we need a playoff appearance in the worst way possible. And remember, if you can't be good, baby, be bad. Bye.